A very good morning, 33 minutes gone past the hour of 9. I would like to welcome you to the Clean Up Local initiative. That is a courtesy of CULI from the CBU School of Medicine chapter. And today we are talking about understanding waste from the generation, disposal, as well as its impact on health. We do have like a bit of time to have this conversation, so yay me. And of course, the purpose of this program is to educate the public, which is you, on what waste is, its types, how waste is generated, proper disposal methods, and the impact of poor waste management on the environment and human health using practical examples from Ndola and Zambia. I will not be talking to you about this since I'm just like a bystander, very frustrated, and I say the wrong things when I'm upset. So I have people that are patient enough to take up an initiative and teach the local community and get on the ground to do the Lord's work in the studio with me. I'm going to start with Christopher. Christopher, I'm acquainted because he was here last week. I hope you remember him. But I do have like two guests in the studio that are brand new, fresh off the CBU School of Medicine. And we'll get to know them a little more. But I will start with Christopher nonetheless for introductions.
Okay, so good morning to everyone that's listening. My name is Christopher Kalande, and I'm one of the project leads for the Clean Up Local initiative, which is a youth-led initiative that seeks to clean up the environment so that we can reduce the health impacts that waste have on human life.
Okay, and we'll move on to Papa D so he can properly introduce himself with his government names.
Good morning to everyone that's listening. I'm happy to be here. My name is Derek Mongala, as introduced, Papa D. Yes, a representative of the Kuli initiative, the Clean Up Local initiative, and we're here to elude and propound a bit about waste management and its impact on health and the environment as well.
Aye. And we do have, I'm glad that Wednesday is like biased to like programming, catering to women, and we have a female in the studio to represent, because we just can't have the men talking about waste management when the women are the ones busy cooking and throwing papa. So good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Misty. Thank you so much. My name is Cleopatra Kapoor. You can call me Cleo, and I'm a representative for Kuli Clean Up Local Initiative. Thank you.
So that is what it is.
Exactly.
I'm so glad that I didn't butcher it and I had to say it in letters. So, Kuli Clean Up Local Initiative. We're going to say it right. And Cleo is in no relation to Cleo Ice Queen. You will not be hearing anybody rapping on this program. But I'm going to start with Christopher. So Christopher, to educate the public, of course, what are the like expected outcomes of this initiative that you've undertaken, even just to recap for the people that were not there last week and they're joining us today for the first time?
Okay, so one of the things that we seek to do with this initiative is to educate people on the importance of waste management and how, just enlightening them on how that impacts their health, more like enabling them to have more control over their health, by managing their waste. And we seek to do this by, we do a lot of activities. One of them is the school outreaches. So we go to a number of schools around Ndola, and we seek to expand to even other districts. So we go to these schools, we talk to the pupils, enlighten them about waste and the types of waste and how they can manage waste from a school setting. Yeah, we don't try to complicate things. We bring things down to the level.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because when you visit some schools, it's just like, do people actually come here to learn?
Exactly.
And there are people in charge.
Yeah, so besides the school thing, we also do some cleanup activities. So we partner with the local authorities. Recently, we had one in Hillcrest where we partnered with Ndola City Council. We also Okay, so I'm sending next time.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we partnered with Ndola City Council. We also partnered with KK Services, and as students also we were part of the same. We did about a 2-day cleanup just around our school premises. So it's Clean Up Local, so we start from our area.
That's true.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to be talking about managing waste. Then you come
and
to
then we come to CBU and we're like, good Lord. But
yeah, then the other activity that we're doing is what we're doing here to enlighten people out there about the waste management and just show them how best they can handle waste.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Papa D, I'm going to move to you so you can educate the people today on what waste is, and of course some examples of common waste in households and other places.
Sure. So to properly define what waste is, it can be defined as any unwanted or unusable material that is discarded after its primary use.
Yeah.
Yes, so after its primary use, a practical example I can give is the glass jars of mayonnaise that we use. Those jars, after the mayonnaise is done, usually it's discarded. It's no longer useful for its primary use.
That's true.
So to help manage that waste, we'll talk of how we can recycle it or reuse it by having those glass jars for sugar, salt in the household. That helps to reduce the waste that we generate. Common examples of the waste that we generate in our households: food scraps, plastics, and papers and such. Yes.
Yeah, I hear that. Cleo Ice Queen. I'm going to move to Cleo so we can hear her voice as well. And can you clarify on the misconceptions of waste, which we say this is useless, as well as like manageable waste? And then also you will get us like into, he talked about like a little about what types of waste are being generated and how to manage that. But you could also just get into that a little so we can know what types of waste is being generated around our communities.
Okay, thank you so much. So amongst the misconceptions that are out there, some people assume everything is waste. But it's not all waste that can be discarded. Other things can be reused. And some people don't actually understand that. And we've seen initiatives like, you remember we used to get plastic bags from shops for free. But there are initiatives that were put in place so that people can reuse them and at least
Is it just me or that hasn't worked? I personally feel it hasn't worked. I feel like what it's done is it's made a way for business people, to make extra money off the customers by selling you those plastic bags. Because if I still need 4, even if I got them for free and now have like a bunch of stuff with me, I think it's empowered the people that were giving plastic bags for free by putting more money in their pockets and haven't really deterred the customers into purchasing those plastic bags.
Yeah, that's actually true. I guess the thing that comes with initiatives is that not everyone will receive the information and act accordingly to what was put in place, what it was intended for. So you'd find some people would even be like, I can't carry a plastic bag back to the market. Like,
there's that.
I can just buy a new one. It's cheap. But actually what that initiative was for, it was to ensure that people can reuse them. Because when it was free, it was even much worse. But we find that there are actually a few people that actually just grab those that they bought last time and reuse them.
Okay, I should say there's actually been like a little change, because I've had like times where I've walked out, if I have like maybe 3 items, I'm just like, don't give me a plastic bag. But also maybe because I am like consciously making that decision based on all the information I have in terms of environment and waste management, but I don't think like other people that are not thinking like you guys would react the same way too. So it is kind of sad. I would propose we start advocating for just paper bags all round. It's biodegradable. You can throw it and, you can't burn. I was about to say you can burn it. That's retrogressive to this show. Well, Kangombe, I'm going to talk to you also about waste generation and disposal. So how is waste generated at household and community level, and what are some of the proper methods to dispose that waste?
Okay, so waste is basically anything that we don't have use for. So you find that the waste that we generate is stuff that we thought we're going to use, then eventually we
don't need it anymore.
We don't need it anymore. So you buy maybe excess plastics, maybe you go to ShopRite, you're buying a lot of groceries, then you get a lot of excess plastics.
That's my beanie. I put some more things.
Yeah, then when you're done using the mayonnaise, the sauce things, then all those things, you no longer use them and you would have generated waste. Now, the problem that we have isn't really waste generation, but waste management, because we're always going to generate waste. Even our bodies generate waste.
Oh, that's true.
So you're going to bath, and maybe just after a few minutes, you're going to have, you
have sweated, you still need another shower.
But how do you manage that waste? So in the household level, it starts by simple separation of things. I think last time we talked about how the plastics form the bulk of the waste.
Yeah.
But the ones that cause a lot of diseases is the organic part of the waste. So when you separate the plastics and the organic part, you can use the organic part for compost in the gardens. I come from a place in Kalulushi. That's where our home is. So
I used to live there.
So the time we moved there, we moved near a place where there was a mine. Yeah, so there's a place called Seven Shaft. So the area around there had soil that was so hard to grow stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you would plant onions and after
nothing.
You have onions the size of grapes. So what we started doing was we started getting leaves, okay, and we started the same separation. So things like banana peels, oranges, cabbages, tomatoes, we dug a kama pit and we started putting them there. Then we'd bury them after some time. Then when the soil becomes, rich and dark, we'd put that in a garden. This time around, if you had to come at home, you'd be so shocked and wondering,
come through onions.
What fertilizer do you put? And they have no idea that what we're actually doing was waste separation. So that's some of the ways that you can actually manage your waste in a home. And that's separating waste. Then the plastics, there are companies that do recycle plastics. This is why I've got a lot of scavengers at dump sites.
I see those like a lot.
Yeah, so those guys there are companies that actually buy plastics. If you go by Trustmart, you're going to find cups that are for 2 kwacha, plates that are for like 7 kwacha, made out of plastics. And you can even tell, this one was made from a Kamojo bottle. Yeah.
I didn't know that. But that is good. I just feel like there should be like a little more, a lot more conversation on recycling.
Exactly.
I feel like there's few people, and also when you look at the people that recycle, when you're like driving by, you look at them and like, that is not my shtick there. That is their thing.
No, those guys actually make a lot of money.
Yeah, but if we could also consciously just separate our recycle, take it where it's supposed to, or put it at a place where they can come and get it. Like I was talking to a friend in Germany who was saying they can buy groceries with their recycled bottles. Yeah, so you can go and put them in a machine like at a supermarket, and then it counts like the money, the amount, and then it gives you back, and you get in the supermarket and you buy your groceries. That would encourage like a lot of people to start recycling, because you're knocking off a bit of money when you go shopping. So we need like a little more initiatives like that. Are we not like aggressive enough in?
No, I think people just don't know how much money waste has. Yeah, because I think waste is just something you throw away. But the people who know that there's a lot of money
in
these
this
things.
So
and they're very quiet about it, because the more people start knowing there's a lot of money, you also start...
The market will be saturated, then they won't make as much money.
Yeah,
well, Papa D, can we talk about the roles of household, communities and local authorities, and also like the consequences of poor waste disposal?
Okay, so the responsibilities that we have as per individual, because
we should start from there.
It should start from as an individual, from the household that we come from the home. Like they say, charity begins at home. Even waste management begins at home. Even where you're going, you'll be subconscious about it, knowing that every plastic or paper or every waste that I generate should be managed. Should be managed in that.
And talk to those people that like throwing things out of moving vehicles.
True. So you find any waste that we can generate, especially in moving vehicles. If we can have that waste in the vehicle, we generate those bottles of water or drinks that we take while we're driving. If we can have them in our vehicle and then put them properly, we dump them in a proper
place,
where they're separated and they can be recycled or reused. It would help us to reduce that waste that we're generating. Now, some effects of poor waste management go beyond just an environmental impact, but also impact our health adversely. So we look at things. I'll talk of something called the leachate formation. So due to lack of proper waste management, if we have a dump site somewhere and then it rains
in Peter Singogo,
yes, and it rains, when you look at places like Masala, when you go to Masala, I come from Masala personally, you find the market is full of organic waste.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Marketeers throw a lot of rotten mangoes, vegetables,
And they surround that
Yes.
dump place. Like they trade around the garbage that
Yeah.
they're heaping in the middle of the market.
True. So you find when it rains, that rainwater mixes with the toxic water that is generated in that organic waste, and that then seeps into the soil, making
Yeah.
the soil infertile and contaminated.
And so that's the thing we never think about,
Yes.
because we're only thinking about don't let your kids like play in the rainwater, they might get infected, but I've never thought about like soil getting
Yeah.
affected as well like that.
Yeah, so that's how poor waste management can affect even the environment. That's an impact on the environment. That soil becomes contaminated. And not only the soil, we have what we call an unconfined aquifer of water. So you find even the groundwater is contaminated due to lack of poor management of this waste that we generate. So it is a call to action so that we can manage this waste. It affects the health of people, the environment. You find the management or even the disposal of the waste. When we burn this waste, the plastics and everything, they produce toxic fumes. They produce toxic fumes that contribute to climate change and global warming, because we have what we call the climate, the global effect, the effect of greenhouse gases,
Yeah.
which leads to global warming and climate change that affects everyone. We're looking at weather patterns that are
Erratic now.
very
You
erratic.
can't even predict what's going to happen.
You don't know when the rain season stops and starts.
Yeah, and when
You
it
find
starts.
In October it's raining, in August it's raining as well. And those are some of the effects that are there due to poor
Waste
of this
management.
waste.
Oh, shame, man. Cleo,
Yes.
I don't want you very quiet in here. But also, what are like the health impacts of waste management, especially when it comes to diseases that pop up due to waste in different seasons, since waste is generated all around the year? What are some of the health impacts that most communities would go through?
Thank you so much. So, some of the health impacts that we have, some diseases that go around. You'd notice in rainy seasons we have diseases like cholera and also malaria. Because when we do not dump waste properly, you'd find even throw waste in drainages. And we find these drainages even clogged up. And when those drainages are clogged up, you'd find we have stagnant water. And the stagnant water, we have a breeding site for mosquitoes, and it leads to higher cases of malaria. And I don't think people would even understand that we have cases of malaria coming from poor waste management.
I just thought it's around like the rain season, or I live near the river. But I didn't think like waste would be also a culprit of malaria breaking out.
Yes. And another thing I can mention is with cases of cholera, we notice mostly that we have higher cases of cholera when it's raining. And mostly it's because when this waste is not properly managed, some people, we have even children like scavenging, and they have a high contact to those things. Some people even get things like, I've heard of people getting like meat that's dumped.
You're kidding.
Yes, like they would get that and they would resell at a cheaper price.
Oh, wow.
Or some of them would even eat it, and we can't even mention the amount of exposure that that food has had according to microorganisms. And here we have like a lot of diseases even coming from there. It's not just cholera. Yeah, a lot. And
I'm learning like the amount of things like that I do not pay attention to. I think that is like the purpose of this program, so we can all like learn a little something in terms of, because every time I think when we talk about waste, it's always just like the home, yes, the bottles and the plastics around and whatnot. But then you don't know like where do dead cell phones go? How are they disposed of, and where are they going? The garbage that you're throwing around, what is the impact on communities and health, and all of these things that we're learning. I hope you do better as a community. Also, Christopher, I was like, I'm going to tell him when it comes. When I drove through Peter Singogo, like 80% of the garbage had been collected.
No, they were actually listening.
I figured, I'm like, wait, they heard?
No, actually listening.
I was so happy. Congratulations, guys. The remaining 20% like do better. So as we wind down the program, what would be your final words? I'm going to start with Christopher.
My final words would be, your waste is your responsibility. Yeah, I would love to echo that. Most of the time when we're generating waste, we feel, oh, I'm going to generate waste and I'm going to leave it and someone's going to pick it up. Yeah, it's equivalent. Even in our homes. In our homes, we don't even do this, actually. Yeah, I remember when you leave a dirty plate at home, I think you
have to come and clean it.
You have to come and clean it.
I was at a funeral a few days ago in Lubuto, and then we're standing by the road, and then there's a youngster in a house eating mango, and she's throwing like the peels outside the window. When I tell you, like, she was like at a window like this, and the outside was like over here. It's by the... I almost like went into that yard. My sister had to hold me like, what the hell are you doing? That is somebody's child in their house. Like, I'm like, but look at what they're doing.
Yeah, so people should realize their waste is actually their responsibility. If you generate the waste, it's your responsibility to clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like your bedroom. Like if you mess up stuff in your bedroom, do you expect maybe your parents
to come and
clean it for you? Unless you've paid somebody to do that.
And that's true.
Yeah, that's where money comes in. But where there's no money,
you have to do it yourself. Papa D.
It's a call to action. Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Yes.
If we look at waste as something that can be managed, we'll better our health and our environment as well. So it's just a call to people to see how the waste that we generate can be managed instead of discarded as useless things.
That is good. Cleo?
I'm just encouraging everyone to use very practical methods of managing waste. Like Papa D mentioned, reusing. We can reuse things that are reusable, and it's okay. Some people find it as maybe a measure of poverty or something. We shouldn't see it like that. If something is reusable, we can reuse it. And another thing I would like to mention is the way people litter anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a paper, you are having a Kamak school, and you have a bag. If you don't have a bin near you, just keep it until you find a bin. Yes, like mostly in our country, people don't practice this. We even find people throwing litter out of a car.
Oh, I've met those like on the road. I think it was like yesterday. I almost like drove to. Now they give me road rage because I have to drive to your window and scold you as an adult who's driving on the road, throwing stuff out of the car. And if it's my friends, I tell them, Allah, you will walk. But I will drive back and be like, pick it and put it back in the car.
Yes. So let's manage waste responsibly. Like Christopher mentioned, the waste we generate is our responsibility.
That's very true.
Yes.
And Christopher, as we follow this initiative, I know you're doing all this work. Like, are we on socials where we can see? And also, if we'd like to like join hands and be a part of the initiative, what are the people out there supposed to do?
Of course, we have a lot of social media platforms. So firstly, go and find us on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's our professional space. This is where we get serious people who want to...
Serious people that give money to causes like this too.
Yeah, so that's why so you're going to find us there on LinkedIn. You're also going to find us on Facebook. We also have YouTube channels. We have, I think we're everywhere.
That is a good thing.
Yeah, so... Yeah, even a WhatsApp channel. We do have those. So the only difference with our social media platform is just how we present the information there. Because how we present the information on TikTok, where people like...
Fast things, attention span is like...
It's going to be different how
jellyfish.
we're going to present it on LinkedIn. Yeah, so we do have those social media platforms. They can just search up the Cleanup Local Initiative, and it should be the first one that should pop up there.
Nice. Well, we gotta go. We'll run out of time, unfortunately, but we will be back on Friday, yes?
Yes, we'll be
Yes,
back on Friday.
we'll be back on Friday. This is the Cleanup Local Initiatives, Kuli.
Yes.
Yes. Cleanup Local Initiative, courtesy of the CBU School of Medicine chapter. And we're doing this to educate the public on what waste is, what type of waste it is, and how waste is generated, properly disposed, and of course the impact of poor waste management on the environment and human health, using practical examples, especially from the initiative going on here in Dola and around Zambia. Well, I gotta go. My name is Misty. I've had Christopher, Papati, and Cleo in the studio to make sure they educate us. Follow their social media pages and follow what they're doing in case you are interested and you want to join in and be an advocate in waste management and environmental issues that affect your community and as well as my community. This is Platinum Radio. Radio lives here. Official goodbye as well from the breakfast show. I will be back tomorrow or Thursday with throwback music and all the shenanigans. The phone lines will be working tomorrow. People I owe money, just hold your breath, okay? Ndalipila nkongole ne. Ndalipila nkongole sonke salipila mahilo when the phones are on and we can talk a little more. But Gender Boy will take you on all the way up until 14 when he hands over to the drive. And I will be back tomorrow. God bless you. Bye.
Radio lives here, lives here, lives here.
It's the Platinum Morning Cruise on Platinum Radio 99.7 FM.